Hey YouTube, this is Gambit896 again. I thought I'd just try something different this time around. I thought I'd actually try behind the camera for a change and see if I can possibly make my reviews a bit more varied, as opposed to me always being in front of the camera all the time. For this review, we'll be reviewing Jess Smith Bone. As you can tell from the front of the cover, this has won a lot of awards, including 10 Eisner Awards, 11 Harvey Awards, and let me zoom in on that quote there for you. One of the 10 greatest graphic novels of all time. This is from Time magazine. This volume I have is the one volume edition, which includes all 55 issues of Bone, which were released from 1991 until 2004. This is the first indie comic or self-published comic that I've read before anything else, really. I bought this for myself for Christmas last year, as it was on Amazon at pretty much a bargain price, because I mean, this particular volume, like I said, there's nine trade paperbacks out for all these issues. As you can see from the camera, the artwork is black and white. It's very cartoonish, but that by no means detracts from the story at all. In fact, it makes it even more enjoyable, in my opinion. So basically, the plot of the story, or the premise anyway, is that the three Bone cousins, Fone Bone, Phoncible Bone, and Smiley Bone, get run out of their hometown of Boneville by an angry mob for something that Phoney did, which you find out later on exactly what it was that caused the angry mob to chase them out of their hometown in the first place. Basically, the cousins become separated in an unknown valley, and they need to find their way home. There's a lot more to it than that. That's a gross oversimplification of the plot. If you're into Lord of the Rings and like Lord of the Rings-esque types of epic on a journey with a lot of different characters, then I highly recommend you pick this up. Like I said, the artwork is in black and white, and but it's a very breezy book, meaning that you can literally just fly through the pages. I mean, when I started reading this, I just couldn't stop reading because it was such an engrossing read. And I have to give Jess Smith props for writing the story and also illustrating it himself, which in this day and age, you don't see many people bringing out their own self-published comics. There's more of a presence of them now than there were a few years ago, because it was mostly Marvel, DC, and that was pretty much it. And then Image came along, and Top Cow, and some other companies as well. I think Wildstorm as well. I'm not really sure, but anyway, there's a lot of typical fantasy elements in this story. There's lots of different characters. There's an arch nemesis. There's an army of monsters. There's dragons. There's a lot of epic fight scenes towards the end. But ultimately, this book is just an amazing book. It's epic. It's really, really funny. And I really like Jess Smith's style of drawing, and his writing is just superb, in my opinion. Again, like I said, there's typical fantasy elements such as Lord of the Rings on a journey, or a type of journey anyway. There's fantasy elements such as Lost Kingdoms, Lost Princesses, epic fight scenes. There's love and betrayal in places. There's unlikely alliances. Let me see if I can find you a good example of the. Let me see if I can find you the rat creatures somewhere. Just bear with me a minute, guys. There we are. Here's a good panel of what the rat creatures actually look like. There's two in particular who I believe they say comrade or comrade to each other, which I believe is obviously Russian. One of them has a big appetite for quiche, which plays into the comedic elements of the story. Trust me, you'll have to read it to find out, but it is really funny what happens. Yeah, so if you're into Lord of the Rings, I highly recommend you pick this up. If you like reading indie comics or self-published comics, pick this up. If you like action, romance, action, romance, fantasy elements in a story. If you want something different to read, I highly recommend you pick this up. This is probably one of the prides of my collection of graphic novels. I picked this up for, at the time, I think it was about £21 off Amazon, which I thought was an absolute steal, considering how much you'd have to pay for the individual trade paperbacks. I mean, this entire volume consists of, I think it was over 1,300 pages. So you're not going to be putting this book down anytime soon if you choose to pick it up and read it, especially this edition, which obviously is just obviously the one volume. Let me just pan down just there. Let me see if I can. There we are. As you can see there, one volume edition. So yeah, overall I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I'll be rereading it again sometime soon. So yeah, if you like this video, guys, please comment, rate and subscribe. This has been Gambit896 signing off. Take care, guys.